Welcome to Growing Pains and Gains, the podcast where five lifelong friends navigating life across 3 states, Nebraska, Kansas, and Texas, share their real, raw, and often hilarious takes on everything under the sun. Join us as we embrace the growing pains and celebrate the gains that comes with life's journey.
Hey, everybody.
Hey. Woo woo, here we are for episode 8.
Yes, and I am back this week. I am back from Mexico. I'm Alex.
I'm Audra.
I'm Chelsea.
I'm Catherine.
And I'm Maria Tortilla.
Okay, Maria's feeling feisty today.
Maria Tortilla.
So we are going to keep things more lighthearted this week. And so our hot topic is about the Oscars.
Or the Grammys, you mean?
Yeah, I was going to say that both Chelsea and Catherine kept thinking it was the Grammys, and we're doing research on the wrong show. So for anyone that is unaware, the Grammys are an award show about music, and the Oscars is an award show about movies, which aired a week ago last Sunday. So we're just going to kind of talk about some of the dresses that we liked or didn't like, and some of the awards, who won them, different things like that. So let's start with the dresses. So my favorite dress was Selena Gomez. If you didn't see her, it was just like a very classic, chic looking Oscars dress.
Yeah,
it was
looked
nothing.
so good.
Yeah, it wasn't like this big production. It just looked very simple, tasteful. I thought she
It
looked
was
really
really
good.
pretty.
She looked great.
It was pretty.
Yes,
It
I
was
loved her. Who
honestly
was
a
your
little-
favorite, Chelsea?
It was very elegant, but a little plain Jane for me.
Ooh.
I liked Halle Berry's.
Yeah,
I
Halle
did like
Berry.
Halle Berry's.
He was showing up and showing out, and I liked that one.
Mhm. She was good too.
And Alex just pointed out that about Cynthia Erivo's dress. So I just looked it up and it was amazing. And it reminded me
Yes.
of the
It
movie,
was
which I
really
love.
pretty. It was
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think which I was telling the girls before we started, I think Cynthia and Ariana Grande, I think they tried to match their dress to their character from Wicked. I don't know if anyone else thought that, but I noticed when I was looking at them that Ariana's dress looked like, well, I guess I should
Linda.
say I haven't watched The Wicked, but I'm just assuming.
Yeah,
I know. I'm
But it
assuming,
does,
right?
it
Isn't
does.
she Glinda the Good Witch?
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
Cynthia, is she the Wicked Witch of what? The West or something? East? I don't know. She's one of the
Elphaba.
witches.
I
So-
loved Ariana Grande's dress. I thought it was so pretty.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was
That's really
pretty.
pretty. Yes.
But she does look really skinny.
She does.
Very
And
good,
I
but
had
really
seen this
skinny.
picture of her back from 2015 when she was dating Big Sean, which I actually forgot about. And she looked
Oh.
so good. She looked so healthy.
Mhm.
She just looked really skinny. And it just always makes me a little, worried about people when I see them lose
Yeah,
that much
there's
weight.
lots of
I know.
pictures.
Hopefully she's okay. But
Yeah.
yes.
I-
And then let's see. Who else? Maria, who'd you like?
I liked Mindy Kaling. Her dress was
Kaling.
like that silver. Kaling.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I really liked Felicity Jones's
Oh,
was-
what did hers look like?
Armani Privé
Mm.
dress. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I saw hers.
It was really pretty. It was like silver halter top, and then like it was just very classy, and then like a tiny little cutout, like
we all know you like classy, girl.
we do, and like a bow. It was just very, I don't know. I liked it.
Simple.
It seems like silver
Yeah.
was the color this
It
year.
must have been.
Yeah.
So many people were wearing that.
Must have
Yeah.
been.
Did
Yeah.
anyone
I wonder.
see? Did anyone see Megan Thee Stallion's dress that she wore to the awards party? Like not to the awards show, but the after party, and it was like the green.
No.
They said it was like inspired by Poison Ivy, but she had just like a
Oh,
a
yes.
circle over her nipple. Did you see that?
Yes, I saw that.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
No.
goodness. No.
I was- it was not one
Who
of my
was that?
favorites. Meg Thee Stallion.
Yeah. Okay. So that's pretty much our favorite dresses. So just a couple things I was gonna talk about who like the awards and who won them. So I don't know about you guys, but when I was looking up the movies, I have not seen any of the movies that were nominated for Best
I
Picture.
know.
And
for
normally I've
Wicked,
seen
and
at
it
least
didn't
some
win.
of them. Yeah, I know.
I just don't
So
watch very many movies anymore.
me neither.
yeah.
Either do I.
Well, my mom and I, growing up, we always watched the Oscars together, and we would try and watch some of those movies that were nominated for Best Picture, so that we would like have our own opinion of which ones were good or bad. But this year, I mean, I can just go through the list. So the nominees for Best Picture were Anora, which was the winner. Never even heard of
And
that
And
it
what
one.
won
is that?
everything.
It won.
I don't even know
What
what it's
was
about.
it?
It won
Yeah.
everything.
I don't know.
What was like
It's-
what was like
I
the
don't-
genre
I
of it?
didn't
Like, was
watch
it?
it.
It said it
I
was a
don't know.
comedy drama, and then it says that I looked it up right before we started, and it said that she was a stripper. Sorry, I don't
Oh.
want to be ignorant. I don't know anything else about it really, other than
Yeah.
it says
Stripper
that
Yeah,
just
they were the
false.
winner.
Yeah.
Was what? What, Audra?
Chelsea doesn't want to give false information out. Understand?
Oh, yes.
Now I want to go
Okay,
see it. If it won all those awards, I might have to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other nominees were The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, which I know was nominated for a lot of awards too, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. And Wicked's the only one I've even heard of, let alone seen from that whole list. So now I feel
Okay.
out of touch. I need to start
Yeah.
watching some of these. Yeah.
Okay, I just really quick looked up the overview of Honora, and it does actually sound good. Honora, a young woman from Brooklyn, gets her chance at a Cinderella story when she meets and marries the son of an oligarch.
Oh, oligarch. Mhm.
Oligarch. Once the news reaches Russia, her fairy tale is threatened as the parents set out for New York to get the marriage annulled. I
Oh.
think it sounds
That sounds
good.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
So she won for Best Actress as well. And then Zoe won for Best Supporting Actress for Emilia Perez. So in her speech, Zoe talked about how she is the first person from Dominican origin to win an Academy Award. And she said she will not be the last. So I thought that was kind of cool. And you really liked her dress, Catherine, didn't you?
Yeah, I just like her. I just always think she's so elegant, and she ages very well. Like she looks a lot
Oh my
like she did
God,
20 years ago. She looks
Yes.
fantastic.
Yeah, she does. Honora also
She
won
looks
for
younger
Best
than me.
Director. She looks younger than you. Honora also won for Best Director. So, I mean, seriously, they like stole the show. Wicked did win for Best Costume Design.
As
And
it should have.
I know. And then
Chelsea,
Honora
are
won
you a
again.
big Wicked fan?
Yes, girl. That was one of my games. Remember?
Yes.
I
But
know,
they bought
but
it.
I
You
didn't
didn't even
know.
rent it. You just
I
bought
know.
it.
I didn't know
Yep,
if you
we-
were a really
And now
big
it's on
fan.
Peacock for free. But yes, I loved it. Loved it. Loved it. So good.
Yeah. And they were up for a lot of awards too. So obviously it
Mhm.
was a good one, but they didn't win as much. So anyway, that was the Oscars. And you'll have excuse me, our listeners, you'll have to tell us what you thought about who was the best dressed. There really wasn't any that I like felt really strongly that I didn't like necessarily. I mean, we didn't really talk about that, but I thought everyone looked great. There was just some that were better than others, in my opinion. So yeah, that's the Oscars. Okay, Chelsea, give us
All right, girls.
where we're going next.
Okay, this week we're going to talk about Enneagrams. And the girls don't know a whole lot about Enneagrams, but for those of you that are listening, if you don't know, I'm sure we've all heard about like type A and type B personalities. Well, the
Mhm.
Enneagram takes that a little bit deeper. So there is 9 personality or 9 different types in the Enneagram, and they are defined by the sorry guys, I get real nervous.
You're doing
Aw.
great, Chelsea.
Oh, girl, you're doing good.
You're doing good.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay. So they are all oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I'm such a mess.
What?
Hold up. Catherine's like, I can't believe you're doing this.
No. Chelsea, you're doing
Okay.
great. So I will just are you ready to go?
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that I didn't even know how to properly pronounce it, so I had to ask just to be sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know a lot about it, but I find it very intriguing, and I've been more into like other types of personality tests. We actually do one for my corporate job, and we require everyone in the interview process to take it, and we actually use that as part of our hiring decision. I mean, it's a small
Really?
part. It's not, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Mhm.
very spot on. I took one 12 years ago when I started, and it's we hire a lot of the same types. And so we
Mhm.
have like a few different of the types, and it's called a PI assessment, something different. But we hire a lot of the
Mhm.
same types. And so we found that like a lot of, the same types work out really well for our company.
Yeah.
And so,
Like if you're
um,
outgoing
yeah,
and stuff like that
Yeah.
is
or
in
like,
sales and
and it's interesting because like, for accounting though, we might hire for one personality type, whereas like recruiting, we hire for another.
right.
But we have like a trend of what tips tends to do really well. And so I just find the whole process of all of these tests very intriguing. And a lot of times they are spot on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I always would listen to, or, people are like really into their horoscopes, and I do not resonate with mine at all. Like, I'm a Sagittarius. Sagittariuses are like adventure and all that. And I don't.
You're doing
And
Couch to
so,
5K, girl. That's adventurous.
do what?
I don't even know my horoscope.
Now,
I
knock
said,
it off, Alex.
Maria, you're a Gemini.
Oh, that is adventurous.
Oh,
Well,
Okay.
we don't have to, we can save this for another episode, but I'm a Pisces and I very much like relate to that. Alex and I are both Pisces.
Yeah.
Right.
And I find it's pretty spot on with me for the most part. But when
Right.
Chelsea, when you said that about yours,
I'm
I read yours and I was like,
interested.
yeah, I don't really
That's
find
not me
like
at
it's
all.
not. It's really not. And that's
No.
That's so
when
funny.
I made the joke that maybe Chelsea was adopted and she has the wrong birthday because it
know.
really doesn't line up.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
so
let's go back to
okay.
Enneagrams.
So the Enneagram, there's 9 different numbers, there's 9 different types. And there's several tests online, and there's like podcasts that go really deep dive into them. Today we're just going to scratch the surface. We're not going to, go into them at all or deeply. But I've taken the test and it told me that I was a 6, which is a loyalist, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that sounds like me for sure." But then I read a book, it's called The Road Back to You by Ian Morgan Crone and Suzanne Stable. And Suzanne's actually like known as like the godmother or the mother of the Enneagram. So she's like the real, expert on this. But so as I was
How
reading
old
it, they
is
were
she?
talking about I'm sorry, what?
How old is she? Is she
I
older?
don't know.
Oh.
I assume she's probably in her 50s or 60s, but I'm not really sure. I don't know.
Maria.
Well, I was thinking
And
like this was like Enneagrams like go way back. Like
well, they
Because she
may.
said the godmother, isn't it? Yes, I knew it. Okay.
Okay. Well, anyways, in the
Sorry,
book, they go
Chelsea.
into the different characteristics and like what it looks like to be a healthy characteristics and unhealthy characteristics of your Enneagram number. So they're talking about Enneagrams and how a 9 cannot make a decision, and they have a lot of trouble making a decision. And I was like, that is me. And we're not talking like big decisions. I'm talking like going to the store and I can't decide between 2 different type of coffee creamers. Like I will stand in each aisle and
yes, you
struggle.
will.
I know. That's what
So
my
how
friend
do you
Lisa,
ever
she's
make a
like,
decision then? Like how do you decide
it's
which creamer to
hard.
get?
It's very hard. And I just remember laying there crying because I
Thought
felt
something was
like,
wrong with you.
dang, yes, I thought something was wrong with me. And that's just my personality type. Like I'm not alone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Did it help you
that's
when
why,
you found out that that was your personality type to like have a little more understanding about yourself and who you are?
yeah, I mean, it doesn't help me make a decision, but it helps me know, to realize that, oh, there's nothing wrong with me. That's
Right.
literally just the way I'm
Exactly.
programmed. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's why I feel very strongly about it. And, I think that it's important to know yours and to know your partners and your kids and just to know, what makes you tick and what,
Ooh, your kids. I didn't think about that.
yeah, I don't know
Now,
about,
are
yeah.
there kids? Is there a kids like
I
test?
don't see, and that's what I'm saying. I don't necessarily know, that a quiz is correct. I think that you need to you can definitely take
Right.
one, but like I said, I got a number 6 and that's not me. So, I I just
Like
felt very, very strongly.
I kept taking the quiz on one and even paid for the results, and it was so not me. It was it said I was a 3, and that is
Right.
not me. And so then
Yeah.
I did the free one, and I felt like it resonated, like
More.
it was more me. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go through the different types, and if you hear yours, we'll stop and we'll go dig a little deeper into it, okay?
Real
Sounds
quick,
great.
Sounds good.
can't you be can't you pick up some traits from all of them though?
Yeah, so each a 9 does have traits from all.
Okay.
Basically. But also, a 9, or each number has a wing. So you can be a type 1 with a wing 1. I'm sorry, a ring. Oh, you can have a ring. Oh my goodness.
Wing.
So you can be a type 1 with a wing 9 or a wing 2. And I
Or
didn't
wing.
look up the wings for all of them, but I know which numbers you guys are. And so I looked those up. So we'll talk about those when we get to your numbers. So a 1 is the reformer or the perfectionist. They are principled, purposeful, self-controlled, and a perfectionist. They strive for integrity, improvement, and seeking to make the world a better place.
I feel like
Anybody?
that's not mine. I do feel like I resonate with some of the things, like, when I was
I
reading
know.
through all of them.
I was thinking you were maybe a 1 at sometimes.
Yeah, and that one, a lot of that does resonate with me, but there was another one that was stronger that when you get to it, I'll say.
Okay. So 2 is the helper. They are caring, interpersonal, generous, people-pleasing, and they focus on meeting the needs of others and seek love and appreciation in return. So I work with a 2. They've been 2 of the girls at my work are taking a class, like, where they are diving really deep into it, and she's a 2, and she says that she feels like she needs to help everybody all the time, and that if you tell her that you don't need her help, she, like, takes it personal. Other
Yeah.
like, so that
My
would be
sis
like do what?
my sister-in-law's a 2, and
Yeah.
definitely could.
And so a way to help them would be to be like, "No, I don't need help with this," but redirect them. So that's,
See, that's
what
why
you
I
can do.
think it's so important to really know about yourself and really understand yourself and the people that you love and you're close to, because everybody's so much different and everybody operates in such different ways. So the
Right.
more you understand about yourself and about other people, I feel like the better relationships you can have.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like my mom would be a 2.
I do too.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying this about your mom,
Right,
but,
but she
like,
loves to
they
help, but she wants it to be known that
right, and that is
like
a part
right, and not in a bad way,
no.
just wants to
When
feel
I listened to the
appreciated.
book, I definitely thought of your mom for it too, for
Yeah,
sure, and she
yeah.
is a big helper.
She
All right.
loves to help.
So a type 3 is the achiever. They are success oriented, adaptive, excelling, and driven. They focus on achieving goals, gaining recognition, and maintaining a polished image. Do we have any of those in the house?
Catherine and
Present.
Alex.
That's me.
Yeah. All of you? It's Catherine, Alex, and Audra?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
Audra,
So
you're
like
not
I
a 3,
said
right?
before,
Well,
I
I
don't know
would
if
say 3 would be some of me. Yes.
3 would be some
Okay.
of you. Okay.
Yeah.
So each type is defined by a core motivation, fear, and set of behaviors. So the core motivation for a 3 is to be successful, admired, and to feel valuable through accomplishments. And the fear is of being worthless, failing, and being seen as incompetent.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
I don't
100%.
it resonates with me, and I have everything you said for the pros or the like attributes, and then what's the word for like the con or the fear? The fear, I guess, is that what you said?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I have a fear of failure. I honestly
Yeah.
do. And
100%.
it's something I've had my whole life. Like, it's something that
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember as a little kid, and I put so much pressure on myself. Like, my
Yes,
parents
you did.
didn't. Yeah, my parents didn't put that pressure on me. I've always put it on myself, and I just have very high expectations of myself. And so then it's like just a fear of failure. So yeah, that one definitely resonated with me.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it also talks about being a workaholic if you're a 3. And I
Yeah.
think it's a lot of it is because you want to be, an achiever, you want to
Yeah.
meet your goals.
Mhm.
And I would definitely say that that is me, but I know my husband would for sure say the same thing. And I think it is just something that's like ingrained in me. Like, I don't think that I will ever be any different.
Well, yeah, it's because it's your personality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. But I think it's
But they're okay.
interesting, like, that with Catherine and I that we're both Pisces, that we're also a 3
I
too.
was gonna say that. Like, Alex, what do you think? There's something there that we're both Pisces and both a 3. I was
Yeah,
wondering that same
I
thing.
know. I think that's
Okay,
interesting.
so
I don't
you
know.
said that would always be in you, but there are healthy and unhealthy parts of your personality. So when you're
Uh-huh.
healthy,
Yes.
you are self-assured, authentic, and energetic. You're motivated to succeed, but they do so with integrity and through sense of self. They inspire others by leading with purpose, confidence, and authenticity. And then if you're unhealthy, then you are overcompetitive, superficial, and a workaholic. And you may become obsessed with image, status, and success to the point of losing touch with who you really are. And that you become deceitful or in a shallow attempt to maintain your persona. And I don't feel like either one of you are
That's
necessarily
each of you. Yep.
Yeah.
No,
No.
I don't feel like
will
that
say-
either.
No.
But I will also say some of those traits I used to have more when I was younger. But it's like, I talked about last week, I've done a lot of work on myself and a lot of inner work. And so I've identified things about myself that I don't necessarily like and that I know aren't great things or aren't healthy habits. And I've really
Mhm.
worked to change those. So I think, maybe in my 20s or early 30s, I did exhibit more of those traits than I do now.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I don't feel overly competitive. Like, I don't feel like I have that, whereas maybe I used to have that a little more.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right
I could
now
see.
that-
Like, I feel like as you get older, you kind of lose that.
Well, hold up, Maria. Hold up, because I just turned 37 and I feel like I'm more now competitive than what I've ever been.
Oh.
I don't know. Like, I just feel like I'm very competitive and and I didn't realize that I was competitive until I am at the job that I'm in at right now. Like, I'm just really competitive and I don't know what for. There's really no reason for it, but I always want to.
Is it the recognition and the
It might be
achievements?
the recognition, or it might be just like, oh, look what it would be the recognition because, oh, look what I've done. I've done this. But like now,
Mhm.
so much now, that part doesn't matter because I've done a lot of things and I've been really, really successful in my career. But like now, like that kind of attitude, like my attitude, that kind of stepped away. But then like I see something, I'm like, oh, I want to go get it and I'm going to go do it.
Okay, but I was going to say, but there's a difference between being competitive and overly competitive. So do you feel like
Yeah.
you're overly competitive, like in a way that's too
No,
much, or do you just feel like you're competitive? You know what I mean? Because
I
there's
just,
a difference.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's competitive.
Because I think to me, overly competitive is like where you take it too far, where it's
Yeah.
like you're so upset, like if you don't win, or you're maybe even trying to like cheat or make other people feel awful. If
And
you're
or
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
no,
poor
no,
loser,
no.
like a poor sport about it. Like
Yeah,
that to me is
yeah.
overly competitive. Like there's a
Mhm.
No,
healthy
yeah.
level of competition.
Yeah.
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 And I would say I have like a healthy level of competition, like especially at work and stuff like that too. But one of the things that it really didn't resonate with me with type 3 is just like it says that you're all about like your self-image and stuff and like how people perceive you with your achievements and things like that. And I don't really think that like the things that I'm seeking out to do or anything like that is for like other people. Like I don't really care about that. It's more of
more
just
for
for
yourself.
myself. Yeah, like I want to know that I accomplished this or I set out to do this and I was able to get it done. Because like I was telling the girls earlier, like if my husband or my mom, they'll give me compliments about different achievements and I'd like always feel awkward of like, what am I supposed to say? Like I was just doing my job or, like things like that. So I really don't think I'm like seeking that out by any means, but it is, I guess, kind of part of if you want to achieve things, then, I guess maybe people will notice it. I don't know. But
Okay, so
anyway.
that's a big one for me that I feel like I used to have. Like when I said like my early 20s or early 30s, 20s, that I was much more like wanting that recognition and wanting people to see, what I've done. And I
Yeah.
just thought of this example, which I remember, when I was doing really well in my job. So I went and started buying like Louis bags, and I was like, like look at how well I'm doing. I would
Dang.
never now. Well, I'm a mother now, and I just have different priorities. But I would
Yeah.
never go spend that type of money on a bag. I just wouldn't. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah.
I feel like I was trying to kind of do that for status and to like show people like, look how well I'm
Right.
doing. I've got this
Right.
bag,
Right.
which is just, I'm completely
But this
different
is
from that
my
now.
question. How do you know, like people, like I see people carry them around all the time. I'm like, girl, that is not a real Louis bag.
It's easy to tell if you look close. From a distance, it's not. But now I personally would not carry a fake bag just because I'm like, if I can't afford it, I just wouldn't get it.
Yeah,
But one time, Chelsea and I went to the Bahamas. We were 21. I won a free Bud Light cruise to the Bahamas and took Chelsea. And
Mhm.
we were 21, 22. And we
23
went and
probably,
bought
but
fake
yeah.
Coach bags in the
We got our
Bahamas.
Coach wristlet and we got
They
the
were
big old Coach
These
purses.
huge, and they were falling apart within like a week.
Why don't I remember this?
Man.
This
That's
crew,
good
an
time.
example of that.
Oh, I
Another
remember the
example of
crew.
how we change, and
remember-
how we grow up and
Yeah.
evolve.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
So do you guys want me to go over the wings?
Yes, I want to hear the wings.
Okay.
Mhm.
You guys tell me which one you think you are. Okay, so for the Enneagram 3, you can have a wing 2 or a 4. So 3s with a wing 2 tend to be more people-oriented, and they can be helpful, socially adept, tuned in with to others while using their charm. In stressful situations, they become possessive, flattering, and manipulative.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh. Whoa.
And the 4
What's the 4?
The 4 tend to have a strong imagination, and they are creative, introspective, and subdued. Under stress, they can be moody, arrogant, and pretentious.
I think
Ooh.
I'm more with a 2, honestly.
I think you guys both.
Yeah, I think I'm a 2. I'm definitely not creative by any means.
I don't feel creative either, Alex.
No, but I don't the stressful situation, I don't I don't think I have those characteristics. I think I'm definitely more moody
Yeah.
than anything.
Mhm.
I just feel so stressed that it definitely affects my mood.
Yeah.
But I don't even know like what being possessive when you're stressed, like what that would even look like.
Well, for me, when I think of like, if there's like a problem, I don't want anybody else to touch it. It's let me
Oh,
handle it. I've got it figured
gotcha.
out. I don't want your input. I don't want your help. Just let me figure it
Yeah.
out. I've got it.
Okay.
I'm going to do it this way, and it's my way. Like I think
That makes sense.
for me,
Oh,
that's what
Yeah.
it means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would
No,
that be
I
for
mean,
2? Is that what the 2s were?
yeah, that's in the 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily think I'm like that. Like, I'm okay if someone helps me when I'm stressed out, but I just want to know that like it's all going to get resolved, I guess.
Done
Like,
right.
yeah. Yeah. So, I'd say probably a 3 wing 2. Is that how you would say it? Or
Mhm.
no? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
Same here.
Okay. So the type 4 is the individualist. They are sensitive, introspective, expressive, and unique. They focus on individuality and deep emotional experiences, often feeling different and misunderstood. So I know that one time I saw somebody post that Taylor Swift was a 4. And so, she
Oh.
writes these songs. And I think
Mhm.
that a lot of artists are 4s, actually.
Interesting.
Why, I
Are
wonder.
you a 4?
Absolutely not.
Just because T Swift is, you think Chelsea is?
Yeah, yes, I am actually. Why? I don't know, because they like to they're expressive and unique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creative.
And I feel like they feel misunderstood, so they need to like
Yeah.
write about it. And
Mhm.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. So type 5 is the investigator. They are innovative, perceptive, and curious, and they value knowledge, privacy, and self-sufficiency, often seeking to understand the world in detail. Absolutely not me.
No.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Not me either.
So this is the one that my quiz told me that I was, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that could be me." It's the loyalist, committed, security-oriented, and responsible. They seek safety and stability and may struggle with anxiety or skepticism, but are also loyal and supportive.
I could see that being
But
me too.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Interesting.
Um, and then a 7 is the enthusiast. They are spontaneous, optimistic, and adventurous. They seek variety, excitement, and new experiences to avoid pain or limitation, often remaining upbeat and future focused. So, one time I was listening to something and it said that type 7 is the type that bought a new house, they're moving into their house, and they're also looking at Zillow as they're driving up to their new house at other houses.
That would be me.
I was gonna say Maria always
would
needs the
be
next best thing.
Yeah.
And
But I
Derek
don't
would
feel
be
like
like,
you
no.
avoid pain. Like, I don't feel like, because like, I feel like I don't know, but I don't think that you won't do anything to not feel sad or to not feel
Yeah.
Right, right. My
only
sister-in-law, I was talking with her about it because she was used to be really big, and she still is, I
Uh-huh.
should say used to, big into it, and so several years ago, we did this, and so I'll tell you what Enneagram I am when we get there, but she says that she sees me resonating with a 7
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
Could be.
Mm.
Yeah.
I could see it too. I don't know. Yeah.
I know.
Okay, 8, the challenger. Powerful, assertive, and decisive. They focus on control and independence and are often protective of others, standing up against injustice.
Oh.
That's me.
Ooh.
That's
Audra's
me.
Audra's a challenger. All
I
right.
am. I feel like I'm very assertive. Like I feel like I'm very assertive in certain situations. No, not certain situations, all situations.
Okay, good. That's
Uh,
good.
And
So
but I strongly believe in standing up for what's right for myself and for other people. And I
yeah,
won't back down on that issue.
good. Okay, so your core motivation is to be strong, independent, and to protect yourselves and others from being controlled or hurt.
And
And
maybe
your do what?
no, go ahead.
And your core fear is being weak, vulnerable, or controlled by others.
I had a breakdown last week and I was talking to one of my coworkers and I was like, well, I don't want other people to see that I'm weak or that I make
Mm.
mistakes
I feel like
Aw.
your job, though, you work with, well, I think there's more women now, but before you worked with a lot of men, and it was kind of more.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of the things that you would tell me were pretty sexist that would
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, no,
Um,
absolutely. Now
and
it's
yeah, this
that
was years and years ago, but now you definitely have more female coworkers. But I wonder if that played into that.
Yeah. Like if it's almost like you kept trying to prove yourself that you were like as good as they were kind of thing and didn't, like you
Mhm.
said, didn't want to make a mistake and have them be like, oh, well, Audra's, not good enough or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm probably too independent for my own good right now. I mean, honestly, being 34 and single, like, I mean, I just could never. I mean, I'm just so independent. Like,
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You can be
You can
independent.
take care of
But
yourself.
yeah, I sure can take care of myself. Sure can.
Okay. So when you're healthy, you are strong, assertive, and protective, and you use your power to protect others and stand up for what you believe in is right. You are decisive, confident, and direct, but you have a deep sense of justice and fairness.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Okay, so in your unhealthy state, you're aggressive, domineering,
Oh,
and
yes.
controlling.
Oh yeah,
I wouldn't say controlling. I would not say controlling, but aggressive.
Yeah.
And
I'm just
you may
laughing because
become
Maria
ruthless,
couldn't wait to get into that. Okay, go ahead. Ruthless?
Of course, the sister has to say that.
ruthless, angry, and overly confrontational, seeking power and control at all costs.
Oh,
We all can
dang.
say that Audra
Feelings
has
of
her
others,
fit.
bulldozing through situations without empathy or
Bulldozing?
consideration.
I 100% bulldoze my way through. I'm also 6'1", so of course I bulldoze my way through it.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. That's funny. Most of the time, no. There are times where Audra has her moments. We can agree on that, but
Yes,
yeah.
yes, absolutely.
Oh, goodness.
So I think you're definitely probably more an 8 than a 3.
Yeah,
Yes.
probably so. Yeah.
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 Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
So the last one is a type 9, the peacemaker. We're easygoing, acceptive, and supportive. They seek harmony and peace, avoiding conflict, and often striving for a calm, stable environment.
Anyone?
That's what my test came, and I do feel like I am, but I feel like I also impart, like, it says that I could be a wing 7, but
And 7's the
no,
one that
it's
we just
7,
said that
wing 8.
Oh, I forgot to read Audra's wings. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I read that before. We can do you want me to do Audra's wings or
Yeah, go back to the wings. And because
Yeah.
both of
Sorry.
you are 9s, right? And so we have a lot to get into with that.
Yeah. Okay. So, for Audra, an 8 with a wing 7 tends to be assertive. The wing can influence them to take risks and be more social and ambitious. They may also make them impulsive, reactive, addictive, or materialistic during stressful times. And a wing 8 with a 9 tends to be more quiet, steady, patient, and supportive. In times of stress, they become cold and indifferent.
Ooh. God, I had the best cold sorter in Houston.
So which wing do you think you are? A 7 or a 9?
7.
You can
I would
lean
say
towards
7.
both too. What?
Yeah, I say a little bit of both.
Yeah.
At different times, you can lean towards them, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So back to the peacemaker. Our core
Peacemaker.
motivation is to maintain inner peace and harmony in their environment and to avoid conflict. And our core fear is being in conflict, separated, or overlooked, and losing connection with ourselves.
Mm. Okay. So Chelsea, you're a 9 too, right?
Yes.
Chelsea's definitely a peacemaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I'm not. I'm not.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that because I see it in you too. But it's just like I think of all the
No,
times.
I definitely see. Yes, absolutely.
Chelsea's always the one telling us that we need
Yes.
to make sure that we're being nice all the
Yes.
time. And yeah,
She doesn't like to. Yep.
No,
Yeah.
that's
When
one thing.
Audra and I argue, like she just gets so like on her girls
Stressed.
trip. Yes, she was so stressed and so worried that Audra's mad at her.
Yeah.
and she always was.
And I just went in the other room and was like, whatever.
And Audra was
Whatever.
trying to bulldoze through the situation. Hold on, was that in Dallas when I was pregnant
Yes,
with
and I
Nova?
was gonna say, and then our friend Randall and was like, "What's going on? Is Audra upset?"
Totally.
That's so sad. I was
like,
a
I'm
different
not
person
gonna
back
say
then
anything.
too.
What?
What, Audra?
I said I feel like I'm a different. I was a different person back then than what I.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're
Yes.
definitely.
Yes.
I really think you were. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
back to
go on this
nines.
row. Okay. So in our healthy state, we are calm, harmonious, and accepting, and they are able to bring people together, create unity, and find peace in themselves and in their relationships. They are open-minded, grounded, and able to navigate life with a relaxed, easygoing demeanor. And in an unhealthy state, we're passive, disengaged, and complacent. They may be apathetic, avoiding conflict or difficult situations to maintain superficial peace. And they can suppress their own needs and desires, becoming detached and overly agreeable to avoid rocking the boat.
Hmm.
Do you feel like you do
Yeah.
that, Maria?
Yeah, like I was looking at my communication style for an Enneagram 9 and like agreeable, listens more than speaks, hard time saying no, and I like uses a story to give a whole picture. And I feel like that would be
That
me.
just made me think about one time in the group chat. It was probably a month or two ago, and we were talking about something with the podcast. It was when we were just getting started, and you were like, "Yeah, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me." And I was like, "No, Maria, it does matter because you want to do it this way. Just say that. It's okay to have a different opinion." Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was
Yes.
like, "That's what
Mhm.
makes it so great is we all have our different ideas and different
Yeah.
opinions. So, like, yeah, be honest. You want it that way." And then you're like, "Okay, you're right. I do want it that way."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It is like, and I was also like looking at Enneagram 9s, and you'll never meet someone who's more peaceful. I can't say that about me. But Chelsea, that would be you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Accepting. I feel like I am accepting. Calm, considerate, understanding, adaptable. I feel like I am compassionate,
Yeah.
gentle, supportive. I can't say I'm easygoing. Chelsea, going.
What do you think Derek would say?
Derek would say absolutely not. And then for type 9, like for like when you're having like frustrations, a bad day, watch out for type 9 when you become more sloth-like and feel anxious about your circumstances. I feel like I do kind of just shut down, but I do have high anxiety, and I feel like I resonate with 8 more on that.
Yeah.
I neglect my self-care, and I
Wait, 8 or 7? Wasn't it 7 that
for
you
8
thought
on
you
that
were?
though, because I could be a wing 8.
Oh,
And that's
okay,
what I was
okay.
gonna say. I'll bet that's your
Yeah.
wing then.
Yeah.
Okay,
But,
so I'll read the wings. 9s with a 8 wing can excel in leadership positions because they are independent, steady, and willful. A 9 wing 8 must pay attention because they can become lustful, aggressive, and callous.
Lustful.
Ooh.
I don't think that's me.
No, but can't lustful be like for more stuff?
Yeah, it
Oh,
can
always
be.
wanting something else?
Oh, I do
Oh,
always want
okay.
more. I do want more. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, and then a 9 with a wing 1 tend to be highly principled and hardworking. That is me. I'm just kidding. And they are often modest, composed, and orderly. However, they can struggle with being obsessive, compulsive, and self-righteous. I don't know that I resonate with any of that, but
Maria, how do you
Um,
feel about obsessive compulsive? Because as a kid, that was totally
That was
you.
me.
Yeah.
But I will say that was because I was ADHD, or I
Yeah.
don't know if you can
Yeah.
ever like not be. And so that was my medicine. That was the medicine that
Yeah.
gave me obsessive compulsive. It was
Totally.
awful.
Mm.
Clean,
That
clean,
was
clean, clean,
awful.
clean, clean.
Yeah.
Remember, I'd always say that.
What'd you say?
Clean, 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 clean. Like I'd have to look at my shoes. Like I couldn't like get them
You would say
dirty.
it in your head. Oh.
No,
Oh,
I
and
would say
no.
it like,
Gosh.
yeah,
You'd ask us, you'd be like, guys, are my shoes dirty?
yeah. Do you see
Yeah.
anything oh my gosh. And this, making sure
Yes, I
could hit
remember
my-
this.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
God, I remember that too.
Yeah. Okay. So for those
Her
not
wrist.
watching on
Those that
video,
aren't watching, yeah.
Maria used to put her fingers like around her wrist to make sure that you could
Body
get them all
check
the
her
way
wrist.
through.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like to
Get
make
them all the
sure
way
that
around that I
yeah,
wasn't.
she wasn't
that she
getting
was like
away.
skinny enough to yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So one thing about this one, so I'm not a 9, but my husband is. And so as you were reading it, I was like, oh my gosh, like so him. And another kind of funny story is when we were on a siblings trip with my husband and his sisters and their husbands. My sister-in-law was all about the Enneagrams and she wanted us to take the test. So we all took it, and all of the siblings, so my husband and both of his sisters are all 9s, and then all of the in-laws are all 3s. So
That's so funny.
apparently, I know it's crazy
Yep,
that they're all the
opposites
same.
attract.
I know.
Opposites attract.
But hold on, this
Derek's
brings up an
probably a
interesting
3.
this brings up an interesting point because all of okay, so for everyone who doesn't know, Alex's husband and his siblings are first cousins with Maria, who is also
That's
a
another
9.
episode.
So, but
I was gonna
Maria,
say,
is
I
Derek
could
a
see your
3?
dad being a 9.
Derek was gonna take it and then he didn't have time to take it. So I will report back to y'all,
Because
but
that would be
I
really
think he's
interesting.
gonna be a 3.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
he'll be a
thinking so
3.
too.
I could
thought
see
that
my
might.
mom being a 3 too. I don't
Mhm.
know.
Your mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I could
Very
see
interesting.
at least one of my brothers being a 3. I don't think they both are. I feel like one's maybe a 3 and one's maybe a 9, but I don't know.
Yeah, I could see one being a 9 too.
I could too.
Yeah, but I just think it's so funny that all 3 of them are 9s and then they all married 3s. So
Yeah,
which
that is
they're
funny.
pretty similar, and then the in-laws are pretty similar.
What is Gary, Catherine?
Oh gosh, he may be more like an 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 So, yeah, I don't know what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
Well, okay, Chelsea, we didn't did we decide though, Chelsea, which wing resonates more with you and Maria? Did you both say?
I would probably say 1 for me just because of, like in my work, I'm more a perfectionist. I'm not much of a perfectionist in anything else in my life, but I definitely am a perfectionist.
Maybe with your sourdough loaves.
Yeah.
Be a
Yeah.
perfectionist. Mhm.
Yep.
And Maria, what did you say about yours? An 8, you think?
I think more of an 8. And I do like there's some 7s too.
Yeah.
I feel like I resonate
Well,
with.
I definitely what I was gonna say is that I would recommend looking more deep if you're interested in this to look deeper into it, and I highly recommend that book, The Road Back to You, because
And who's the author?
The Suzanne? Is it
Ian
the Suzanne
Morgan
girl?
Cron.
Oh.
Cron. But it like in any of these things, it doesn't say anything about like a 9 not being
test?
able to make a decision. That's when I knew it was me. So in each,
read the
you know,
book?
he really goes in the book into each one and different, characteristics of each one. So, and you can choose. It doesn't have to be. You choose with which one resonates with you. It's not, oh, the quiz told me it's this, and that's
Yeah.
what I am.
I'm mad I paid $7.50 for that quiz. Ugh.
So you
I'm
can
gonna
get your
punch
money
something,
back.
Alex.
Oh, that's so
We'll
funny.
link that book on our
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Now I wanna read it.
_ the podcast.
Yep,
link
we'll
it.
link it in the show notes and put it on our Instagram page, GPAG _ the podcast. We'll make sure to have it there. But this was
Yes.
fun,
Yeah.
guys. Now
So
let's
It
like
was fun.
We're just scratching the surface. I don't want you to think that this is like that we're trying to be experts on this
Cutthroat
because we
here and-
definitely
yeah.
yeah. There's way more into it. So definitely look up the book if you're interested.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, are we ready for pains and gains?
ready.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go first. So my pain. So at first I was going to say that I didn't have any because obviously I was on vacation
Get
this
on
week.
with it.
So, I can't complain. But personally, I did not have a pain. So I will say that my pain was my mama heart because my son had a basketball tournament this weekend. And mind you, he's in 2nd grade. So this is the first time that he's ever even had a tournament. Normally they just have like regular season rec games and it's over. So they had a tournament this weekend and his team had been doing really well and they really wanted to win. So they won their first game by only 1 point. It was close the whole time. The second game, it was very close until the very end. And the last couple of minutes, the other team ran away with it. And like the whole rest of the game, you could see the boys like slowly were starting to get emotional and crying. They were like so sad because they really wanted to win. And once it was over, they were like all at the bench crying together. It was so sad. Like all
That
of the
is
moms,
sad.
we were all looking at each other. And I mean, it's not like they were being bad sports. They just like really wanted to win.
Wanted to
And
win,
they thought,
right.
yeah, and they thought that they were going to. And my son is not super touchy-feely. Like he's not really emotional. He doesn't cry a lot. And when the game was over, he came up to me and just like gave me a big hug and was crying. And I was like crying with him. It was so sad. So anyway, we had to talk about it. And he loves the Chiefs. And I was like, even Patrick Mahomes cannot win them all. So, you know,
No.
it's okay. It's a
Right.
good life lesson. But that was sad for me.
That's
So
hard.
I know. So I'm sure he loves sports. So there's going to be many more times when
I
this
know.
happens, but it was just the first one. And so it was kind of sad. But anyway,
When
so
I
that
used to
was,
play sports, I would hope we would lose so we can go home.
Me too. Me too.
talk about not being competitive.
Right.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. So then my gain for the week would be that my husband and I went to Mexico, kid free, just the two of us. We were there for about a week. It was amazing. My whole thing, we do this once a year. Every year we kind of plan for it as our time together, just the two of us. And my reason that I look forward to it so much is because it's 1 week out of the whole year that I just do not have any responsibilities. There's nobody that needs me. I don't have anywhere to be. I don't have to chauffeur anyone anywhere. Nobody at work needs me. Like I can go to bed when I want, wake up when I want. Like, oh, it's so nice. So anyway, that was obviously my gain for the week. It was a wonderful week, and now back to reality. But anyway, Audra, what about you?
So I have 2 pains for this week. My first pain was I indeed had to get a root canal done. It wasn't abscess, though. It was not abscessed. I just had a really bad infection that was eating at the bone. So
Oh,
Oh
Oh my
gosh.
how did it
God.
I
not
got it
hurt?
done. I got it done, and it's all good. So we're good. And my second pain is going to be for a pain that is coming.
What are
Audra?
you doing?
What are you doing?
Sorry, I got a phone call, and it disrupted everything.
Tell him he can wait.
That's what I did. That's what I did. So my second pain is that I'm not going to be here next week. I'm-
Oh, when we gonna miss
I know
ya.
we're gonna miss you.
Yeah.
But
You're gonna miss
but-
2 weeks, aren't you?
I am. But when I come back, I'm going to have a jawline and I'm going to have a whole new face. So I'm excited about that.
We're excited for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
My gain for this week was that the weather was just beautiful all week long.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
It
nice.
was beautiful. It did
Spring
not
is-
matter how bad my day was. I would step outside and be like, "Oh my God, this is amazing. This is what
Yeah.
it's all about." Like I just step out and get like a whole new, like kind of new. I'd be, I don't know. I just
Get a
felt better.
pep in your step.
Yeah, yeah, yes.
All right.
For me, Chelsea, what about you?
Well, my pain is that I have had 0 patience this weekend, and that's no fun for me or for my poor babies.
But you took him swimming, so that's still nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was pissed off the whole time she was doing it though.
I was a little I was a little bit sassy at first, but then we started playing that game where like you hold each other and like guess and then you flip them, you know? And then they were doing it to me and then I got in a better mood and I've been in a better mood ever since. Okay, so that was my pain and then my gain is that I just get to pick my own schedule with my work. I have 2 days that I committed to, but I can add on more days if I want, and I did add more days last week, and then I added more days this week, and it's just really nice.
That is so
Awesome.
nice.
Mhm.
Is that that's not at the Hutchison office, is it? Is that the one that's close?
Yeah. Well, the Hutchinson one, I'm there on Tuesdays for sure, and then I'm committed on Thursdays for right now at another office.
Okay.
Oh, and this is what my pain was or my gain was gonna be is that I said no and I followed
that's nice.
through with that work. Yeah,
yes.
I did. I don't like to say no or think that people care when they actually don't, and don't want to, like, I want to people please and nobody cares. And I said no, and it felt amazing. And I was really patting myself on the back that day.
We were proud of you.
too.
I said, Chelsea, you better not go pickleballing because you did not want to go at all.
Hopefully none of them are listening.
I know, right?
Well, that's okay.
All
You
right,
didn't want to
Catherine, what about
go.
you?
Yeah.
So my pain for the week it feels like everybody in my house was sick for
Oh, yeah.
one point or another this week. And I started getting sick. Gary was sick, as I mentioned last week's episode. So he was sick. And then I started getting sick on Tuesday. Wednesday, I felt terrible. And then Cinco got home from school and he wanted to get in the bed and he fell asleep, which is unlike him, at like 6 o'clock. And then he woke up and was throwing up all over the place. And so I was up all night with him. He had a terrible stomach bug, was just vomiting all night and dry heaving. It's so sad.
Yeah.
And then I kind of felt better for a couple of days. And then I started feeling really bad again yesterday. And today was a little rough, but I'm feeling much better now. I think everybody is kind of on the up and up. So we're all starting to be back to normal, hopefully.
Good.
But my gain for the week is that my parents came in town for the weekend.
Oh.
Fort Worth for an event. And so then they came over to closer to where I live on Friday and Saturday night. And so Friday, I picked Nova up from school. And since Cinco was staying home, so Nova and I went to dinner with them. And we went to an Italian restaurant and had a wonderful time. And then they came over on Saturday and played with the babies and had so much fun. And it was just a really good time. And it made me just so grateful and so thankful that I have such awesome parents that are, just such an amazing influence on me and, got me to where I'm at today. And then to see them coming over and playing with their grandbabies, it just such a joyful feeling.
And what did Cinco keep saying?
La la papa?
They love it.
And I told him that they were coming over. I just told him like 15 minutes before they were on their way because since he didn't know they were here on Friday, since he was sick, and didn't get to eat dinner. And so he kept saying, la la papa? I'd be like, they're on their way. They'll be here soon. And so he went to the window to wait for him and watch. And it was the best thing ever.
So
You're
cute.
going to learn that you don't tell kids stuff like
Yeah.
Well, that's why I waited 15 minutes before.
Yeah.
What about you, Maria?
That's so
what were
cute.
yours?
Right. I will say my pain is that we sprung forward today.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's just so tough. And as a teacher, it's just going to be a really rough week. The kids, I feel like this is the hardest. Springing forward is really hard for them.
Yeah. Because you lose an hour of sleep.
Yes. And then, but it's lighter in the evening. So
yes, that's a game.
Just the routines and their bedtimes change. And it makes a big difference for school.
Yeah.
So that is a pain. I just do not like it. And the gain is that we have another short week. It's our spring break. So here, like how we do spring break is we get out Thursday, Friday of Girls' Day, and then the following week, Thursday, Friday of Boys' Day. So we have 2 back-to-back extra long weekends, which is great. And then we get out 2:00 the day before of our last day.
Nice.
Oh, that is nice.
That's nice.
Last week we got Wednesday off though because our girls made it to state for the first time in history, and they won their first game and proceeded to the next. So that was awesome.
Awesome.
Yes.
Very fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for joining us for the podcast you didn't know you needed. Now you know, so we hope you'll join us next week on Growing Pains and Gains, where we will have our first guest host and she'll be discussing gut health.
Woo-hoo.
See you all next week.
Adios, amigos.